This is a story that no one saw coming. Hollywood is in complete shock today as news breaks of the sudden and tragic passing of actress Michelle Trachtenberg. At just 39 years old, the star of Gossip Girl, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and Eurotrip was found unresponsive in her New York City apartment. Paramedics were called, but by the time they arrived, it was too late. Authorities have officially ruled her passing as natural causes, but many aren't convinced that the full story has been revealed. Because here's where things get confusing. Sources close to Michelle reveal that she had undergone a liver transplant within the past year, something that very few people knew about. Now, there's growing speculation that her body may have rejected the transplant, leading to serious medical complications that could have ultimately taken her life. But there's something even more disturbing, and something that makes this entire situation even harder to process. Just days before her death, Michelle was seen out in public, laughing, smiling, and enjoying life. She had dinner with friends at an Italian restaurant in Soho, where she appeared completely fine. She was talking, laughing, and carrying on like any other night. There were no visible signs that anything was wrong. So, how did someone who was healthy enough to go out just days ago suddenly pass away? Even her social media activity seemed completely normal. In the days leading up to her death, Michelle was active online, sharing posts, engaging with fans, and showing no signs of distress. If she'd been struggling with her health, why didn't anyone notice? Was this truly a sudden and unforeseen medical event? Or is there more to the story than we know right now? As news of her passing spreads, Hollywood is mourning the loss of a beloved star. Friends, co-stars, and fans have flooded social media with messages of heartbreak and disbelief. One post reads, "Absolutely devastated. Michelle was a true talent and an even better person. Gone far too soon." Another says, "This doesn't feel real. I grew up watching Michelle on TV. Rest in peace, beautiful soul." Even some of her former co-stars have spoken out, sharing their shock and sadness over her sudden death. Michelle Trachtenberg had been acting since childhood, a career spanning over 3 decades. She first captured audiences' hearts in the 90s, starring in beloved shows like The Adventures of Pete and Harriet the Spy. But it was her unforgettable performance as Dawn Summers on Buffy the Vampire Slayer that made her a household name. From there, she continued to shine in hit TV series like Gossip Girl and films like Eurotrip, proving time and time again that she was one of the most talented actresses of her generation. But behind the scenes, was she battling something deeper? There are still so many unanswered questions. If Michelle was facing complications from her surgery, why wasn't she under medical supervision? If her health was deteriorating, why was she out in public just days before her passing, seemingly fine? And perhaps the biggest question of all, did anyone close to her notice something was wrong? And if they did, was there anything that could have been done to prevent this tragedy? Medical experts say that liver transplants can come with serious risks, even months or years after surgery. Complications can arise suddenly, sometimes with no warning signs at all. But would someone in her position, someone young, wealthy, and with access to the best medical care, really fall through the cracks like this? Or is there more to this story than what's being publicly reported? For now, all we can do is remember Michelle for the incredible talent she was. She was more than just an actress. She was a beloved figure in the entertainment industry, someone who grew up on screen and remained a familiar face for audiences all over the world. Her passing leaves behind a massive void, not just for those who knew her personally, but for everyone who grew up watching her work. As investigators continue looking into the final days of Michelle Trachtenberg, one thing is certain: her legacy will live on. Rest in peace, Michelle.